in the burning savanna where life hangs on a fragile thread. And the spear of nature meets the blade of poison, who will fall? The mystery of the savanna. The life and death struggle between porcupines and venomous snakes. Africa. The land of extremes. The rainy season turns the arid savanna into a vast green carpet, while the dry season scorches the ground, leaving behind fields of red dust as far as the eye can see. In this harsh cycle, life still clings and adapts. Herds of antelopes tirelessly migrate to find pasture. Elephants patiently follow dried-up water holes, and predators hide in the shade, waiting for the right moment. In a place where the heat of the day and the cold of the night alternately dominate, each species possesses a weapon to survive. Some rely on speed, some rely on the strength of the herd, and there are also warriors who are endowed with sharp defensive armor by nature. It is here, in the endless cycle of life and death, that the fiercest encounters always erupt, and only the strong can continue to survive. In the middle of the blazing savanna, when the sun hangs high in the sky and the heat makes the ground tremble with steam, a small creature quietly steps out from the thorn bushes. Its waddling, slow appearance easily makes others mistake it for a weak prey. But hidden behind that seemingly clumsy appearance is a formidable warrior. The porcupine. With a small body, nature has given it a formidable armor. Thousands of sharp black and white spines, about 13 to 30 centimeters long, ready to stand up against any threat. Under the midday sun, those spines sparkle like spears, both defensive and a warning signal. When the porcupine moves, the sound of the collision between the quills resounds eerily, causing predators to retreat. Under the scorching sun, the porcupine diligently dug into the dry tree roots. The sound of its claws scratching the ground echoed crisply on the cracked sand. Suddenly, the grass behind it moved slightly. A long, dark shadow slithered out. Snakes, the most deadly creatures of the savanna. Cold eyes followed every movement, forked tongues continuously stuck out, tasting the scent of their prey. In just a moment, a battle for survival broke out. The battle turned into a spiral of life and death. The snake had drowned itself in a painful path. In the end, what was left behind was the harsh truth: venom does not always decide victory. When the sun set behind the barren acacia rose, darkness quickly engulfed the savanna. In the sky, the moon hung high, spreading silver light over the quiet grasslands. In that space, another story of the porcupine began. Although often remembered as stubborn warriors, porcupines also have a gentle, everyday side. Hidden in a safe cave, a pair of porcupines will bond for many years as loyal partners rarely seen in the wild. And the crystallization of that love is the little creatures that are born. After about 3 months of pregnancy, the mother porcupine gives birth to 1 or 2 babies. Each weighs only about 300–400 grams, with soft fur that shimmers in the moonlight. They are still weak, without strong spines, but just a few days later that fur will transform into survival armor. A rare peaceful scene of the savanna appears. The whole group of porcupines gather together, forming a small circle, in harmony with the chirping of insects and the rustling of the night wind. In that moment, the sharp spines that seem to only know how to fight become a gentle wall that embraces fragile life. In the wild, no species can escape the circle of survival. The porcupine, despite its armored back, is just a small piece in the vast mosaic of the savanna. Out there, where the ground shakes with every step, the true rulers emerge. Lion, the symbol of power and fear. The one that even the fiercest predators must be wary of. And of course, the porcupine is not out of sight. A pride of lions approached, surrounding a lone porcupine. Perhaps they had underestimated this little but thorny friend. In a moment, a short competition broke out. But instead of an easy feast, the sharp thorns became a nightmare. The lions roared in pain, and one by one they retreated. Finally, the lions left, looking for other prey. And they learned a lesson that not all small creatures are easy food. A new day began on the savanna. The sunlight filtered through the clouds, shining on the endless golden grass. In the soft light of the morning, the pride of lions appeared, not in a threatening growl, but in a rare moment of peace. The adult male lay sprawled on the cool ground, his thick golden mane shining, both a natural armor against a fatal bite and a sign of strength, attracting a mate. Beside him, a few females lay resting, eyes half closed but ears still perked up in alertness, because the savanna is never truly safe. All around, lion cubs rolled around, biting and playing with each other in the grass. Only a few months old, they were still completely dependent on their mother's milk. The survival rate was slim, only a third of them could grow up, because out there, hyenas, leopards, and even strange male lions were constant threats. The lionesses, skilled hunters, both cared for their cubs and taught them their first lessons in life. From the way of stalking, crouching down, to the clumsy missed pounce, all are the beginning steps of the journey to become a true predator. Because only by growing up in harsh conditions, that skill determines survival. But the peace did not last long. In the distance, the impala herd was leisurely grazing. The lioness's eyes were wide open, her gaze sharp. Her tail gently swept across the grass. The signal had been sent. The cubs immediately hid in the bushes, while the adult hunter quietly dispersed, taking up position. The atmosphere was tense as a string. Every breath, every step was silent. And then the explosive moment, the whole pride of lions rushed out. The hunt officially began. In just a split second, the pounce brought down the small impala. Victory was not only food, it was also a testament to the professionalism of the most patient hunters on the Savanna. The prey was quickly pulled back. The lion cubs eagerly rushed forward, practicing eating the first pieces of meat. The whole herd gathered around the spoils. Here, in the harsh savanna, a meal is not just a feast. It is a connecting thread, strengthening the strength of the herd, and a survival lesson that each individual, from small to large, must remember. However, the lion's feast is not always easy. On the savanna, in addition to small prey like antelopes, there are also giants that even the king of the jungle must be wary of. From afar, red dust swirled under heavy footsteps. It was a herd of African buffalo, hundreds of individuals moving as a unified block, their curved horns shining in the sun. Each adult weighed up to 700 kilograms, with a forehead as hard as steel and enough strength to throw a lion. Unlike most herbivores who usually choose to run away, wild buffalo possess the opposite instinct. They counterattack. When an individual is threatened, the whole herd immediately gathers. The young in the middle, the leading males raise their horns to form an impenetrable wall. It is this cohesion that makes them the most fearsome opponents of predators. Many times a hunt turns into a tragedy. Lions break bones, even die under the fierce gore of curved horns. And now as the lions silently watched in the shadows, hunger growing, a confrontation was inevitable. The only question was, could the ruler really control the giants of the savannah? The savannah space was quiet, only the sound of wind sweeping through the dry grass. In the shadows, the lions waited tensely for the opportunity. Their eyes locked on a lone buffalo that had just left the herd. A tail flicked gently. The signal was sent. In a split second, the lions rushed out. In just a few short minutes, the hunt turned into a shameful one. The lions were forced to retreat, leaving the battlefield to the giants who still stood tall. On the savannah, once again the harsh rule was repeated. The hunters are not always the winners. And the Lion King was no exception. On the savannah, the strong do not always win. The tiny hedgehog defeats the poisonous snake. The mighty lion also has to retreat before the giant buffalo. Nature always reminds every creature has its own way of survival. If you love survival battles, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to not miss the next journeys. The death battles of African snakes. The jungles of Central Africa have just awakened. The first rays of the morning sun filter through the thick canopy, forming warm, honey-colored streaks of light. On the damp ground, the sounds of birds, insects, and falling leaves blend into a tropical symphony. On the ground dotted with light, a flock of guinea fowls walk silently, occasionally making short, metallic clatters like metal on stone. Their black plumage with white spots makes them stand out against the red-brown ground, but their eyes are always wide open, ready to warn of any danger. They have survived millions of years of evolution by being constantly alert. But today, among the rotting leaves, there was something different. A thick strip of scales like rotten wood, the color blended in with the ground, no smell, no movement. Gaboon viper, Bitis gabonica, the longest fanged viper in the snake family, and the most venomous snake in the world. It did not chase, it did not threaten, it did not need to move, it just waited. A guinea fowl broke away from the flock, crept to the open ground at the base of a tree to peck at something that had moved under the leaves. 1 second, 2 seconds, the snake did not move, only its cold brown eyes followed its prey's every step. In the jungle, death does not always come from above. Sometimes it lies at your feet, hidden in dry leaves with eyes wide open and a bite that allows no second mistake. It is not in a hurry, never in a hurry. The Gaboon viper is a patient creature. An artist of stillness. Even when its prey is dead, it remains still for several minutes, as if nothing has happened in the jungle. Then slowly, the huge triangular head moves. The thick body, as thick as a pillar, begins to creep gently towards the guinea fowl's body. The snake's jaws open wide, not with muscles, but with incredibly flexible joints. It swallows bit by bit, not biting, not tearing, just with the cool indifference of someone who knows he is never in a hurry. The Gaboon viper, Vitis gabonica, is the largest viper in Africa. When fully grown, they can be over 1.8 meters long, weighing up to 10 kilograms, twice as heavy as many other bronze snakes. Their thick bodies, rough scales and patterns blend completely into the fallen leaves, making them almost invisible in the jungle. No bird or small animal can easily detect death lying there, a few inches away. What makes Gaboon so scary is not just its size. It possesses two of the longest fangs in the snake world, which can be up to 5 centimeters long, curved and hollow like a syringe needle. When biting, it opens its jaws nearly 180 degrees and inserts those two syringes deep into the prey's tissue, pumping out a mixture of extremely powerful venom. Both a neurotoxin that paralyzes the body's control system and a tissue-destroying toxin that causes the prey's flesh to rot from the inside. However, the danger of Gaboon does not come from its proactive attack. This snake hardly moves, it just lies, ambushes and waits. But it is precisely this immobility that makes it such a danger to humans. Many victims never see the snake until they step on it. Unlike a mamba or cobra, the Gaboon does not threaten or warn. When stepped on, it bites, fast, precise, and almost impossible to avoid. The bites are unprovoked, and the victim often has no time to pull his leg out of pain before the tissue begins to rot. A species that attacks not out of ferocity, but because humans are not careful enough about what lurks beneath the leaves of the forest. And in its world, silence is not peace, but the ultimate weapon. The sun was scorching. The ground was cracked in the midday heat of the African semi-desert. The wind blew through the underbrush, carrying the heat and smell of scorched earth. The world seemed silent. No birds, no insects, only a blinding white light slanting over each rock. Suddenly a small crack appeared in the ground. A black streak slowly slithered out of the crack, its body shiny as coal, less than a meter long. A warning colors, no threats. It just moved silently, as if the sunlight could not reach it. A mole snake, a creature that should not have appeared in the middle of the day. But today the ground was too dry, the dust too thick, forcing it to find a moister crevice further away. And to do that it had to cross a gap, bare in the sun, surrounded by watchful eyes. Its body was short, its muscles coiled like live cables. The head was blunt, the tip as sharp as a hoe, lightly plowing the ground. The eyes were reduced to two black dots that did not reflect light, useless in the sunlight. But its real weapons lay on either side of its jaw, where two short fangs could rotate to the side, launching diagonal stabs like hidden daggers. It crawled slowly. Each movement was cautious, but not hesitant. The grass in the distance shook slightly, and a figure appeared, as light as the wind sweeping across the ground. The African wildcat, the triangular head was raised, the ears listening. The yellow eyes narrowed slightly. It had seen an unusual movement across the sunburned ground. Slow, silent steps. The cat crouched low, its shoulders moving smoothly like water. A slight glance, a lick of the lips. Then a jump. The mole snake paused, raised its head, not straight, but tilted to one side, an unusual fighting stance. But before it could strike, the cat's claws came down. A slap across the snake's body. The snake shrank, arched its body. The cat jumped back, then closed in again, giving another slap, this time to the head. Both stopped. No hissing, no roaring, no blood. Just a simmering moment compressed in the midday sun. The snake did not counterattack. The cat did not continue. They looked at each other, not with hatred, but with instinct to assess their opponent. This one was not weak. The other was not easy to bully. Then the cat lowered its body, took a few steps back, not afraid, but wise enough not to take risks. It turned away, as light as it had come, disappearing into the burning grass. The mole snake was still coiled. One beat, two beats, then slithered away, slowly, unhurriedly. It survives. As it has for millions of years, by not fighting when it doesn't have to, by learning when to fight and when to retreat. A confrontation, not ending in death, but in a silent acknowledgement between two survivors in a land that tolerates no mistakes. Between the rows of rocks that warmed in the sun, where the golden steppe stretched endlessly, a small but sinister movement passed. No sound, no warning. Just a black shadow, long and thin, darting like an arrow from a bowstring. It was the Black Mamba. The name evoked fear across the dark continent, not only because of its deadly venom, but also because of the way it appeared, sudden, cold, unforgiving. Contrary to its name, its skin was not really black. It was olive gray, with a smoky brown tinge, sometimes a deep green, enough to blend in with the dry tree trunk, the cracked stone, the dusty ground. But inside the mouth, that's where the name black comes from, a mouth cavity as black as a pit, the final mark that many never escape. The Black Mamba is one of the longest venomous snakes in the world, growing to over 4 meters long, with a slender, light body covered in sleek scales. Its special muscle structure allows it to glide faster than any other snake, reaching speeds of up to 20 kilometers per hour on flat terrain. It's not just a snake, it's the whip of death that cuts through the wind. Unlike many snakes that choose an ambush lifestyle, the mamba is an active patroller. It doesn't wait for prey, it finds it. It moves throughout the day, through bushes, grass, and even climbs low tree branches to observe. Its menu includes birds, lizards, rodents, anything that fits in its mouth, and moves enough to be detected. When hunting, it doesn't squeeze, doesn't bite, and then let go. The mamba attacks with speed and decisiveness. 1, 2, 3 consecutive bites. The powerful neurotoxin will paralyze the prey's breathing in just 20 minutes. For humans, death can come sooner if there is no timely antidote. The Black Mamba is the perfect combination of 3 factors: speed, intelligence, and venom. It doesn't need to roar, doesn't need warning patterns, because it doesn't need to prove anything. It knows, in the game of survival, it is always the one who has the advantage first. A sultry afternoon on the steppe, the wind had almost stopped, and all living things sought shelter from the sun. But in the middle of the clearing, where the grass had been trampled into pale trails, 2 figures faced each other. The Black Mamba, its body long as a whip, its neck raised, its mouth open. The blackness of its mouth seemed to spiral into the air, a deadly warning. It had smelled the other before. But the creature in front did not run. An adult mongoose, muscular, eyes narrowed, its back slightly arched like a bow. It knew what was in front of it, and it knew one wrong bite could stop its heart for 10 minutes. but the mongoose did not retreat. The mongoose let go, panting. It had won, not by strength, but by reflexes, tenacity, and an absolutely sharp survival instinct. The mongoose, a small animal, makes the entire snake world wary. With a length of only about 30 to 60 centimeters, its furry appearance is not very prominent, but hidden inside is one of the most sensitive nervous systems in the animal world. They are not only fast, they almost predict attacks. The ability to dodge attacks in a split second makes them strong enough to confront even the most dangerous snakes, cobras, mambas, and many other vipers. But not only reflexes, mongoose also possess another weapon, natural resistance to venom. A special structure in the acetylcholine receptor prevents neurotoxins from snakes from blocking their nervous system, a rare and almost unique mechanism in nature. But despite that ability, mongooses do not take risks. They hunt in packs, move quickly, are active during the day, and usually only confront when the opportunity is clear. In a world of the savanna, where recklessness often leads to death, the mongoose's strategic daring is a lesson in survival. The dust settles, the sun begins to set. The victorious mongoose retreats into the bush. Dragging the black mamba's body with it. Life moves on the savanna, fast. Fierce and ever-changing. A shifting patch of sand, a flat head raised high, round black eyes. Cold and bright, not as long as the mamba, not as muscular as the gaboon, but it has something no other snake in Africa has, the ability to strike from a distance. The spitting cobra, Naja nigricollis, is waking up. It is a creature with a masterful art of self-defense. Not only is it venomous, it is one of the very few snakes capable of attacking from a distance. Instead of relying entirely on its bite, it can spray its own venom in a precise stream, aimed straight at its enemy's eyes. The spitting cobra's body is on average about 1.2 to 1.8 meters long, with colors ranging from black, grayish-brown to pale yellow depending on the area it lives. Its most notable feature is its hood-shaped neck, the skin of which is stretched by the neck ribs when the snake feels threatened. But what really sets this species apart is the structure of its venom glands. Unlike common snakes that can only inject venom through their fangs, spitting cobras can squeeze their venom glands, shooting it out in a jet through a small hole near the tip of their fangs. With a wide spread angle and a range of up to more than 2 meters. The venom does not need to enter the bloodstream, just contact with the eyes is enough to cause severe burns, even blindness if not washed off in time. Their venom is a mixture of neurotoxins and necrotoxins, causing muscle paralysis, severe pain and destruction of tissue cells at the site. But unlike an active killer, spitting cobras often use this ability to defend themselves. They rarely bite immediately. First, they swell their neck. Then they spit venom, so accurately that they can hit the 2 eyes that are looking at them. The habits of spitting cobras are quite secretive. They are active day and night, often foraging along the edges of bushes, forest edges, or rural areas near people. They eat mice, baby birds, eggs, and occasionally smaller snakes. They do not hunt by ambush, but rather by patrol. Their forked tongues constantly probe the air, identifying every chemical trace of their prey. They are highly adaptable, from jungles and grasslands to farms and garbage dumps. This is what makes them often encounter humans, leading to unfortunate accidents. However, despite their dangerous weapons, spitting cobras are not aggressive. They warn, they try to avoid. They only use their venom when there is no way back. In the world of reptiles, where power often lies in claws, spitting cobras choose a different path, winning by distance, by precision, and by skill that makes even nature wait. As the sun slants to the west, the shadows of the bushes stretch across the dark red ground. The wind blows through the dry grass, carrying the heat of a dying day, and the quiet murmur of the underground, where cold-blooded creatures still quietly move. Snakes do not roar, do not spread their wings, do not leave footprints after each move, but their presence, even a slight creep through the grass, is enough to change the behavior of the entire ecosystem. From the towering antelope to the tiny field mouse, from birds of prey to humans, everyone learns to look down, to be more careful, more alert, because somewhere under their feet, there is a silent creature ready to strike.